friends, and welcome back to the Wooden Broom Reads YouTube channel. My name is Emily, and here on my channel I love to talk about cozy, wholesome books. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, a little bit fun. It's kind of in the same like bookish ramblings theme. I am planning to do a little bit of a reading vlog, and I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it, and I don't know, part of me is a little bit nervous that it's just not going to happen because I've struggled to read physical books so bad or so much, and I just really want to try and read some more physical books. And yeah, if you watched my last video, you know that I'm slowly making my way through Middlemarch by George Eliot. I am still reading that. I think I'm almost 30% of the way through according to my Kindle. I'm actually really thoroughly enjoying it. It has been quite delightful so far, even with its excessive wordiness. However, there are a couple of books that I have, one I just heard about like the last couple of days, and the other one I've been meaning to read for a few months now, and I thought, why not? Why not? I think I put it on hold through Libby, through my library, but it was like months wait and just taking forever. And then I realized that my library had a physical copy. So I have gotten The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale, and I've heard from a few different people that this book is just amazing. And so I'm excited to try it out. I love fairy tale retellings and fairy tales in general, and I'm just very curious. This is based off of the traditional fairy tale The Goose Girl, which is one that I've read many times throughout my life at different times. And really loved and enjoyed, so I'm very curious to see how the retelling is. And then the other one is, like I said, just a brand new, just heard about it book. I have no idea how to pronounce the author's name, so I do apologize for that, but I believe it was Victoria from Hot Cocoa and Books who mentioned it. I was just watching one of her I think it was an older video from a couple months ago. I really struggle to keep up with everybody's book channels because I love books so much, and if I watch the book videos too much, then I want to read all the books, and then it just is, it's a lot. But I was watching one of her older videos, and she mentioned this one, and it just sounded so intriguing, and shockingly enough, my library actually had a physical copy of it, and I was so excited. So I grabbed it, and it is Hot Chocolate on Thursday. And that's the author right there. Isn't this the most beautiful book? I love it. I love this artwork so much. And I am really curious to see how this goes. It mentions it's slice of life on the little inside blurb here, so I'm so curious. I was genuinely shocked that my library had it because it's a pretty small town that I live in, relatively, and our library has a decent amount of books, but I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say it has like all the cutting edge newer stuff. And this book, it was written in, let me see, I think it said 2017. Yes, 2017, but I think at least this edition, it said it was first published in 2026, so this is like a new one, and it looks like my library just got it in February, so just popped it in there, and I am really looking forward to it. I was trying to read it a little bit while we were at the library and my little boys were running around playing in the kids section, but I have a 1.5-year-old, and man, I have to keep my eyes on that child at every second we're at the library, because then he sees those delightful rows and rows of books and just wants to like shove them and yank them, and it can be chaotic. So I started reading like the first paragraph, and I'm so excited. It starts off, the person I have a crush on is named Miss Hot Chocolate. I don't know her real name, that's just what I call her. She always sits by the window in the corner of the marble cafe where I work. She started coming here about 6 months ago, always choosing the same seat, always ordering the same thing. I'm so excited. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to read in this vlog, is read these two books from the library and see if I can actually read some physical books and give you my thoughts on them as I read them. I'm kind of hoping that what I'll do is like, I don't know, maybe every few chapters, or if it comes to an actual pause point, or if I have like a, oh my goodness, I need to talk about it, there will be that. There will most likely be spoilers because I just want to talk about the books. I want to talk about them. That's one of the hardest things about filming videos, is that I want to talk about all the spoilery things, and I feel like I can't gush about it appropriately because I don't want to ruin it for somebody else. So if you have not read these books yet, I would say pause the video, go read them, and then come back. Because I kind of just want to, I don't know, it's like chatting with about a favorite book with a friend. I just want to be able to talk about it and my thoughts and opinions and feelings as I read the books. So that is what today's video is about. I'm working on some knitting at the moment, so I don't think I'm going to start it just yet. I might wait until my boys get up from their nap time and then start reading. I'm starting with this one. I'm just very excited about this one. And it's a pretty, it's a little book, so I think I'll be able to read it pretty quickly. So yeah, I'll be back when I have something to chat about. Okay, I am here to talk about this book. Oh my goodness. I absolutely flew through it. It was truly delightful. It was cozy and wholesome and just such a pleasure to read it. I am so interested in more books by this author. I was looking it up and it looks like there's another one. It's like Matcha on Monday that's coming out in I think July. And she has 2 other books, something about a library and the other one's about the healing hippo or something. I want to read all of them. I just absolutely enjoyed it and I need a copy for myself. It is very episodic, if you want to call it that way. It has each little section, and I love it because each section starts with, I don't know if you can see that, a color. So you have one section that's brown, and I think there's a pink and a red and a blue, and they're like it's like these little snapshots of different people's life, and it's so cool because it's almost like it starts with one person's story or one person's snapshot, and then it mentions the character in that snapshot, and then the next story is about that character, and then the character in that one is in the third story, and it did that the whole way through until it looped back around to the beginning, and it was just, oh, I'm trying not to overuse words, but it was so much fun and very calm and cozy. It almost had like a dreamlike feel, where it's just very reflective. There were quotes in it that I absolutely loved. There's one that was right at the beginning here. Let me see. Yes, I'm going to read it to you quickly. My world is confined to this cafe and my rented studio in a 2-storied building. Yet, in this small world, I am entirely content. I like my old, cramped apartment with its 2-burner gas stove, which is ideal for cooking. More than anything, I love this cafe. I just love that bit where it talks about, like, in this small world, I am entirely content. Yeah, I was taking pictures with my phone to like keep track of some of the different quotes and things because I definitely need to write them down and put them somewhere because it just, I loved it. It was so peaceful and just really enjoyable. Okay friends, I got cut off a little bit yesterday because my toddler got up from his nap time and came out, so I had to stop filming. But yeah, so since I finished Hot Chocolate on Thursday, I now am going to be starting The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale, and I'm hoping to dive into this one today. I am very excited to give this one a try. I've heard lots of lovely things about it, and apparently it's part in a series, so if I like this one, there's more books in the series, but I will be back when I have started reading it. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay outside. I'm just filming on my phone rather than my camera with a microphone. I just wanted to do a quick little update. My boys are outside here with me, so you might hear them. I am making my way through The Goose Girl. It looks like I'm almost halfway through the book, and honestly, I've read most of this morning, and I'm really enjoying it. It has been really interesting. There's the whole thing about like talking to animals or talking to nature, which I just love in a book. That is just one of my favorite things. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to put this down, and I'm probably going to finish it today unless something crazy happens. But so far it has been reading delightfully, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. Alrighty friends, it is time to film my final thoughts for these two books. I mostly talked about this one. I don't think I really had anything else to say other than I loved it, I really enjoyed it. I really want to get the book that's coming out later in this year, and I really want to get, I think the author has two others that I think I mentioned. I've realized that my library has one more, and then I'm going to probably try and buy the other one. The other one, I was trying to remember, it's right here on the cover. It's What You Are Looking For is in the Library. And it says it right there. And I definitely want to try and read some more because I really enjoyed it. I really highly recommend it. One of the stories in here, I was so unsure because I read so little contemporary fiction or modern day books. I mostly read stuff that's sometime in the 1900s, usually the 1940s, 1950s, somewhere in there, and I just don't read many contemporary books. So I was so unsure as to what to expect. There was one bit where there is a mom she's a working mom, and her husband is a stay-at-home dad, and he takes care of the house and their little boy, and then he has a trip that he has to go on, and she has to like pick up her little boy from his school for the first time ever and make him lunch for the next day. And she is just so anxious and stressed about it because she's like, I've never done this before, and she's just feeling so incompetent. And I was so worried that it was going to be something where like the dad has left them because she's working too hard sort of a thing, and it wasn't. It was just very sweet and wholesome and just such a beautiful picture of like a married couple and the role that spouses play in supporting each other, and it just, I really liked that one, that little story in there. The other book, The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think overall I really liked it. I like the characters, I like the way that they did it, and I really appreciated the fact that Annie, the main girl, the princess, I like the fact that when she goes and she's a goose girl and she's working, she gets to work with a bunch of other like workers who are taking care of the different animals for the king. And I liked that they kind of formed a band, if you will, a band of friends, and that then when she became princess, became queen or whatever, that she didn't forget that. Like she was remembering the people that, you know, are outside the palace walls, sort of a thing. I really did like that part. I will say, so in this one they have the first chapter of the second book in the series, which is Enna Burning. And honestly, that first chapter like really disappointed me and made me not really interested in reading more of the series, primarily because they made Enna, who is a character in the Goose Girl, she was like way younger than I was thinking she was, because Annie, the main girl, is supposed to be like 16-ish, 16, 17, somewhere in there, and which is a little young, you know, like I'm 30, so it's like, if I had read these as a teenager, I probably would have not cared about that at all and would have loved it. These are YA books, so it's like I get that. But then when I was reading that extra chapter, or the first chapter of the Enna Burning book, you realize that in this book she's only supposed to be like 14. And I was just like, okay. Because it's weird, because they're talking about them like falling in love and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know, I think this is to some degree my modern day, the way my brain works. I'm like, at 14, the last thing you should be thinking about is like falling in love, and, or even 16. It's like, you can start thinking about some of that stuff, but in today's world, like that's really, really, really young. Like I get it, like it's not Jane Austen's era anymore where girls getting married at 16 and 17 was the norm. Like that's not the case anymore. And so it just, I don't know, it really threw me off that she was supposed to be so young. And yeah, I think it's one of those things that if I had read these as a teenager, I would have loved them. And I do think that they are something that I would keep in mind for my kids. I think that they would be great. Before I let them read the whole series, I would of course read it. But I think that they would be really delightful for like a teenage girl to read or something. But as for me, I don't know. I wanted to read The Goose Girl because I love the Goose Girl fairy tale. I'm not particularly interested in the rest of the series. I'm not so drawn into and interested in the characters, especially because each book follows a different character. So it's not like, you know, it's the same ones. Honestly, as the old woman that I am, I would have been more interested if like the next book had been like a year or two later and it was following the princess and the prince and like what they were doing and stuff, and then the next book is like a couple years after. Like that would have been way more interesting to me. But it makes sense because these are YA books. They're not really, I'm not the target audience. So really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. It was delightful. I loved all the talking about animals, and there was elements of nature and the forest and all that, and so I really, really do like this book and very much enjoyed it. So if you haven't read it, I do recommend it, but I'm just not really interested in the rest of the series right now, and maybe it's something I'll come back to at a later date, but right now I'm just kind of like, yeah. The last thing that I wanted to quickly show you is my bookmark that I was using. This is a beautiful bookmark by a artist that I used to follow on Instagram. When I was on Instagram, I was in her Patreon for a while. I think she goes by Polly. That's kind of like her English, what is it? Oh, I don't remember the old-fashioned term. Anglicized. It's like the English version of her name. I think she's Russian. And I really, really love her artwork and her bookmarks and everything. She has a little Etsy shop with some stickers and postcards and all of that. I thought I'd mention it here. These are great. I don't know if she has the bookmarks in her shop right now, but she definitely has stickers and postcards. So I will have that linked down below, and I highly recommend you check it out. The shipping is really reasonable, even though it's from overseas, and yeah. So that is it for this video. I am getting ready. I wanted to make sure I talked about these today because I'm actually planning to go to the library tomorrow to return them and get some new books. I've requested some more books. And I really enjoyed doing this, where I was like focusing this week on just reading these 2 books, and it was really fun. And I'm actually kind of hoping to do it where I can maybe balance it, where I read like one of my books off of my unread shelves and a library book at the same time. I think that would be so fun. We shall see. I've picked up a Rosamund Pilcher novel. I'm still working my way through Middlemarch. We'll see where the reading life and adventures take us. But that is all for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you have read these books and you know of more similar to them, or if you've read any of the other books by this author and enjoyed them, please do let me know in a comment down below. If you have any other favorite fairy tale retellings that you could recommend. I'd love to know that. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!